everyone, welcome to episode 4 of my podcast, Anastasia Scouting Report. I'm titling this one, Crashout Jar. I will get to the reason why I titled that later, okay? As always, if you're new, I will timestamp this so you can go to sections that are pertinent to you. And if you're listening, I do have this on YouTube, Anastasia25, and then I'll be adding some visuals and stuff and stats, so you can see that. So let's get started this week. Okay, so talking about UConn first. So the only game that they played since I did my last podcast was against Xavier, okay? So I'll read the stats starting off the AZ FUD, of course. So 27 minutes played, 6 points, 2 of 12, 1 of 7 from the 3. She had 1 and 2 free throws, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 turnover, 3 steal, and no block. Okay, so not her best day from the floor, but I just don't like some of the discourse that I've been seeing. A lot of people I feel like have been extremely rude and unkind to AZ, okay, to put it in a more politically correct way. And just everything that gets sent our way in terms of like the hate and the racism and the homophobia stuff. I don't understand it. I don't like it. I went live for this game. If y'all saw me on TikTok, y'all saw it because I'm not posting that live because y'all know what happened in the game. But yeah, like people are just very weird. And I just don't understand this whole thing where you're a fan of somebody, right? And then they don't have a good game. And then you're hating on them the same way that people who don't like them would. Like, I just don't understand that. I don't understand that. Talking about them like they are dirt on the bottom of your shoe because they didn't have their best game, okay? And, I heard AZ was sick during this game too as well. But regardless, just don't speak about AZ like that. Like, it was weird. It was weird, okay? Even though it wasn't her best shooting it from the floor, like I mentioned, she's always going to contribute in other ways, okay? Always great defense, okay? Finding ways to get her teammates involved. She had some really nice assists in this game. This one to Ali's about when she easily could have taken the layup. Then she hit Sarah in stride for a layup. She had some really nice assists and just finding ways to contribute, okay? Even Gina was like, her presence on the floor is worth a lot, okay? Because of the gravity. And so just something that you have to respect and everything. So yeah, Demon will be back. I'm not worried. We did have 3 steals in this game. So these are things that I will be taking. But y'all got to cool it on her because I don't like it, okay? Sarah Strong, 25 minutes played. She had 25 points, 10 of 14 shooting, 1 of 3 from the 3, 4 of 4 free throws. She had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnover, 2 steal, and 1 block. Okay, so if I remember correctly, one thing that I really liked that Sarah Strong did in this game was really getting into her mid-range, okay? And I've said this before if you guys have caught some of my reviews, but it's just something that I wanted her to tap into more because we don't see her take a whole lot of those mid-range shots and just, making them pay with her coverages and stuff, reading that and being able to take advantage of that with the mid-range. So she really went into that this game and in her bag that way, so I appreciated that. Hit a 3 in this game. You understand what she's going to be able to give you in terms of the way that she finishes out the rim and stuff. Defensively, when you have 2 steals and 1 block, I mean, Sarah Strong just doing Sarah Strong things, okay? So stuff in the stat sheet for Sarah Strong and efficient. Jana, so she started this game because Blanca and Sarah Williams were out, okay? They both had injuries. Hopefully they'll be back for Tennessee. But Jana played 18 minutes, 7 points, 3 of 6 shooting, no threes, 1 of 1 free throws, 6 rebound, 1 assist, no turnover, no steal, and 1 block. I thought she did some positive stuff for you whenever she was in the game. I felt like Gino kind of played with her minutes. I would have liked to see her play more, and his lineups were not moving me in general. So I don't know, kind of got shafted, in this game, I felt. And then we go into Ashton Shade. So 36 minutes played, 12 points, 5 of 12 shooting, 2 of 8 from the 3, 0-1 from the free throw line. She had 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 turnover, 9 steals. I did not know she had 9 steals in this game, so I'll give her that. And no blocks. In the beginning of this game, the first half, she was taking anything, and she was taking some bad shots, and she was missing them. And it's like, these are things we should have kicked out more, because I don't know, Ashton Shade is taking 12 shots in a basketball game. Nobody asked for that. So off the top, I didn't understand that. The second half, she started to find more of a groove and, make some shots for herself, okay? And then we go into KK Arnold. 27 minutes played. She had 5 points, 2 of 3 shooting, 1 of 1 from the 3-point line. She had no free throws, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, which is good news. I swear they updated it. I thought she had 5. And then she had no turnovers, 2 steals, and no blocks. So the same thing I always say about KK. You understand what you're going to get. The defensive side of the ball, I'm glad she got her assist up because I believe the last game she only had 1 assist, which to me is unacceptable as a point guard, okay? So yeah, still the same things that I have issues with about the court vision and the way she plays the point guard position. But as I said before, I do not think that KK is a natural point guard. I really don't. But we go on to the bench. Okay, Yana, she only had 2 points, not much to talk about. Khalees, she had no points, played 5 minutes. Always plays in garbage time. Again, not much to talk about. We go on to K9. Okay, so she played 25 minutes, had 6 points, 2 of 4 shooting, 0-1 from the 3, 2 of 2 free throws. She had 8 rebound, 8 assists in this game. She had 1 turnover, 3 steals, and no blocks. Okay, so overall takeaways on K9 in this game. like I think I said in my last podcast, she's starting to find it more. She's starting to find it more in terms of what shots to take and when to take them, okay? So she was doing some good stuff with that. And I mean, when you have 8 assists to only 1 turnover, that's really good. So yeah, like I said, I think she's more of a natural fit for the point guard position opposed to KK. You know, that's just my subjective opinion. But I thought she was doing some good stuff in this game, both sides of the floor, and she's slowly starting to get that confidence back we saw in preseason and the beginning of the season. So for the most part, I saw some stuff I really liked from K9 in this game for sure, okay? And then we go off with Ali Isabel, okay? So Ali Isabel really had a legacy game. So 29 minutes played, she had 34 points, 11 of 15 shooting, 10 of 14 from the three-point line, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. She had no rebound, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steal, and no blocks. So yeah, 34 points, 10 threes made, okay? So this ties the record, okay? I think there's like 3 other people in UConn history who have made 10 threes in a game. And so yeah, she was just really lighting it up from the three-point line. And whenever she came in, I think that was one of the things that helped us, because in the beginning of this game, weren't playing the best. But, you know, I think that the threes that she was hitting was obviously really helpful to us, and, you know, gotta appreciate Ali Isabel's contribution in this game, because, you know, it was huge, okay? Xavier, I'll just read the points. Mackenzie, 4 points. Petra, 0 points. Savannah, 6 points, I believe. Mary, 11 points. Mariah, 12 points. Denise, 2 points. Lucia, I believe, 2 points. Vivian, 0 points. Phoebe, 0 points. And Audia, I believe, 2 points, okay? And now we get into the scoring by quarter. Okay, so first quarter 17 to 22, second quarter 7 to 21, third quarter 7 to 31, and then the fourth quarter 8 to 23. Okay, and so UConn ends up taking this game 97 to 39. Okay, and then if we look at the game leaders for points, rebounds, and assists, Ali Isabel leading with points with 34. K9 leading in rebounds with 8, and K9 leading in assists with 8 to 1 turnover for Xavier. Noel, number 13, with 12 points. Damn. 9 rebounds for White of Xavier, and then 2 assists for Canerva, I believe, and 3 turnovers, so it's not great. So stats from the field. So UConn was 36 to 69 from the field, 52%. 15 of 34 from the three-point line, okay, 44%. 10 of 13 from the free throw line, 77%. They had 32 total rebounds, okay, 10 offensive rebounds and 22 defensive rebounds, okay. 31 assists, 22 steal, 2 block, 11 total turnover in this game, okay. 48 points off the turnovers, and then they had 19 fast break or transition points, 34 points in the paint, 10 fouls, no techs, largely was 58, and percent led was 83, okay? So now we go on to Xavier. So Xavier was 17 of 45 from the field. Good God. Part of that was our defense, but Lord. 38%. And then you're seeing the three-point percentage for them at 2 of 13, which is going to be 15%. 3 of 5 from the free throw line, which is going to be 60%. 31 total rebounds, 6 offensive and 25 defensive. 8 assists, no steal, 4 block, 34 total turnover. Damn. 10 points off turnovers, okay, 6 fast break points, 20 points in the paint. 13 fouls, no technical fouls. Largest lead was going to be 3, and percent led in this game was going to be 7. So, yeah. And so now I get into my overall thoughts on this game, okay? So we're still having trouble against zone defense, okay? So I don't like that. I thought that we played terrible in the first quarter, okay? Multiple defensive lapses, we couldn't score. Like I said, whenever Ali Isabel came in, I thought that that's part of what got us going, so got to give her credit for that. Like I said, it wasn't AZ's best game, but y'all are really unkind to her, okay? So stay on that side. Y'all are very weird, and I feel like Gino could do a better job of scheming her open. You know, if you think about the tournament and everything, and him setting that elevator screen for her to get open and to hit that 3 and to get her going, you know, he you know what I'm saying? So he's not doing that, and, you know, having her run plays to go into, like, the half and everything. So that's what's kind of irritating to me as well in terms of the utilization and everything. And then no Blanca and Sarah Williams definitely made it a weird one, and I think that they definitely would have helped us. I think that we still need more rebounds, and I think we can just be sharper overall. Like I said, it's about the rebounding for me, the post-entry passes, improving how we play zone and how we play against zone and everything, and just like little details, and the movement of the basketball always leaves something to be desired. So we got it together. I just don't like how he looked, and I don't like that there was points in this game where Xavier was leading and, you know, it was Belt. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to lie for a Big East game again, but yeah, we do have Tennessee coming up next. So some of my overall thoughts on that matchup, I think that we should take them. It should be fine. Honestly, I've watched Tennessee games. In my opinion, they're not good, okay? And what are the problems with Tennessee, you may ask? Well, they are really bad at shooting the 3-ball, okay? And so apparently they average 10 threes a game. None of the games that I watch against good competition, they are not averaging 10 threes. I can tell you that with all certainty. And so the 3-ball is really going to be a struggle for them. I think Talasia Cooper's their best player. And mind you, she doesn't even start every game, and I don't understand that. And the Tennessee coach was talking about oh, it's like based off of how they perform every week. I just don't understand that. I don't understand that. And then her rotations be all messed up because she's subbing people out all the time. You play for 3 minutes in our rotation and then she has new people on. So it messes up the flow of the game. I really do not like her feel for the game because she doesn't have one in terms of using her timeouts and challenges and all those other things and just knowing what the moment calls for, okay? If you see multiple games from them this season, they had opportunities to execute and win certain games, but whenever it gets to those clutch situations and those executing situations and times where a coach really needs to lock in, I just don't feel she's doing that. So the team is just not that good, honestly. Like I said, Talasia Cooper is their best player in my opinion. I really do like her game. Who else do you have? Janiyah Barker, I believe, is on his team. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like, you know, they're just going to depend on her. That's how I would see it. So we should be fine. They can have some good defense, but I think Tennessee can just never put it together. They'll have moments where they look good, and then it's just bricks. Every single time I watch Tennessee, I regret it, okay? So hopefully Blanca and Sarah Williams will be back for this game, because if they are not, it could be closer than we would like it, everything. And hopefully we do not troll in this game. Get AZ her shots. I say this every single time, that AZ should be having at least 15 field goal attempted. Usually in the ranked matchups, in the big games, she gets her shots. I have full confidence in AZ, you know, going into this matchup. And always, of course, okay? And we know what Sarah Strong's going to do. Phenomenal. So you really just feed those two the ball. Everybody else takes shots when you need to, and don't try to do too much. Limit the turnovers, of course. Hopefully we shoot the 3-ball well. There's some games where we haven't looked great with the 3-ball as well, getting the rebounds, and yeah, just playing hard in this game. But we should take them fine. So that's kind of my thoughts on Tennessee. Gino did do a press conference talking about stuff going in, but I haven't got to see it. And most of the time in his press conferences, he just be saying BS and everything, and he talks so slow, and I'd be watching everything on double speed anyways. But, you know, we'll see how everything goes, who guards who, going in the game and the matchups and everything there. But like I said, I think we should take them. So that's kind of some of my overall takeaways. Was not pleased with the last game. Tennessee, we better not troll. And then if you're seeing this in time, hopefully I can get this out before the game, but I will be going live for the game on my TikTok account. Okay, so I'll try to put that on the screen. Right now, it says something like account not recommended. I appealed that, okay, and it's taken forever for them to put me back on For You, but I will be going live. For the game, so hopefully I'll see you there. And then usually I upload it on this channel if you're watching on YouTube afterwards, if you guys want to see live commentary. Okay, so that's UConn. Next up, I want to talk about South Carolina and Vanderbilt, because this was a good one, okay? So starting off with South Carolina and Joyce Edwards. So she played 28 minutes, had 16 points, 7 to 10 shooting. She didn't take any threes, 2 of 3 from the three-point line. She had 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 turnover, no steal, and 1 block. So Joyce needed this. I've been saying in the big matchups, hasn't been great for her, so that's number one. Also, Vanderbilt's not that great, but hey, she got her points, did what she needed to do, understanding her ability to finish at the rim. She also likes to draw fouls and get herself to the free throw line, so she got a couple free throws in this game, having some rebounds, having some assists, doing a little bit of it all. The defense could still use some work in my opinion, and sometimes it just be looking a mess, but Joyce did what was required of her to win this game, okay? And then we go on to Agat McKeer. Okay, so something different in the lineup. So 16 minutes, 8 points, 2 of 5 shooting, 0-2 from the 3. 4 of 4 free throws. She had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnover, 2 steal, and 2 blocks. So yeah, not her best day shooting the ball, but finding other areas to contribute. Okay, now we go into Tessa Johnson. Demon. Okay. And so she played 28 minutes, had 20 points, 7 to 12 shooting, 4 of 7 from the 3, 2 of 2 free throw. She had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and no blocks, okay? Tessa doing what she does best, okay? Getting wide open, hitting some threes for you, and being able to create her own shot, scoring in a variety of ways. I have my qualms about Tessa's defense, as y'all know, okay? If y'all been here before. But yeah, Tessa, like, just... yeah, she did what she needed to do. Wasn't it in this game someone was trying to get to her? She did like a little sidestep 3 and stuff as well. But yeah, Tessa just really valuable for this team. And like I said, I don't feel like Tessa gets the appreciation that she deserves from, you know, her production on the South Carolina team. Like, people don't talk about her enough. But if you see the games, you know Tessa Demon. So this is a really great game for Tessa, okay? And now the light about to start flicking. Okay, now going to Taniyah Latson. 31 minutes played, 21 points, 8 of 15 shooting, 1 of 2 from the 3, 4 of 4 free throws, 5 rebound, and she had 5 assists in this game. She had 3 turnover, 2 steal, and no block. The light started flickering, sorry about that. But for Taniyah Latson in this game, I thought she played well. Okay, Taniyah is going to take the ball into her own hands and just get to the cup, being able to finish that way, and just, you know, get the ball to go through the hoop. So that's what she was able to do in this one. She hit a 3 in this game as well, having some good moments on defense when she has 2 steals. So this was a bounce back, because I believe it was the game against Oklahoma. Wasn't she like 1 of 10 or something? It was a really rough game for her. So she really bounced back in this one. So She did some good stuff for them. And they're going to Raven Johnson, 20 minutes played, 10 points, 4 6 shooting, 2 of 3 from the 3-point line. She had no free throws, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and no turnover, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. Okay, so yeah, Raven doing what she does pretty much every single time, a respectable amount of points this time, and being able to facilitate the basketball and then having some good plays on defense. So Raven doing what she always does pretty much. And then the bench, Turnabees, she played 12 minutes, but she had no points, so it's not really much to talk about, okay? And then Tack, 3 minutes played, but she had 2 points, 1-1 from the field. So, yeah. So now on to Medina Okat. So she played 20 minutes, 17 points, 8 of 9 shooting, no threes, 1-1 free throw. She had 7 rebound, okay, no assists, 4 turnovers. That's backbreaking. I can't allow that. I don't love it. And then we had 5 steals though and 1 block. So overall, played well in this game, understanding the post presence that Medina Okat's going to be. Last game wasn't great for her either, or Joyce for that matter. So yeah, those 3, they really came through for South Carolina. I think that was one of the biggest difference makers. Understand what she's going to give you on both sides and just being a physical presence in the post. So it was a good one. McDowell had 6 points. She hit 2 threes in this game, so that's worth noting. McDaniel had 3 points and she hit 1 3. So once they were hitting threes, I kind of knew that this was going to be cash for them. And then we look at Vanderbilt stats. Okay, so starting off with Michaela Blakes. So she played 38 minutes, had 23 points. Okay, 9 of 24 shooting, 3 of 7 from 3, 2 of 2 free throws. She had 7 rebounds, okay, 5 assists, and she had 5 turnovers. You cannot have 5 turnovers in a game. You cannot have 5 turnovers. That's unacceptable, okay? She did have 3 steals and no blocks. Overall, you understand what you're getting with Michaela Blakes at this point. Like I said, I can appreciate the fact that she's tough. She's willing to put her body on the line and take a charge, and she can score in a variety of ways. I think those are the good things about her. As I have mentioned before, she definitely is a shot stroker, okay? She was taking anything. She took a lot of bad shots in this game, and part of those were just unforced, and she was just trying to get what she could because of the defense that they were playing on her, and part of that was the defense making her have to take difficult shots or making her have to give up the ball, okay? And then with the turnovers, it's kind of a similar thing. Multiple times, you have to be able to feel that double or that triple team coming in on you and making better decisions with the basketball. She hit some nice shots. There were some lapses that they had. She hit a couple threes on them and, hitting some other stuff, but 9 of 24. The point is, it just wasn't a great shooting day for Michaela Blakes and everything, and this is what you're always going to get. She's pretty much never efficient and everything. Had some good moments on defense, but she got cooked a lot of times. I don't know. They released a Defensive Player of the Year finalist list, okay, 25 players. And AZ was not on it, which is ridiculous. AZ should be on there. But I don't know how Michaela Blakes made it. I don't. Like, the off-ball, she can do some good stuff, but the on-ball defense leaves a lot to be desired, in my personal opinion, okay? So that's my opinions on Michaela Blakes in this game, starting off with her, because she's the main offense for Vanderbilt, and I forgot to say they could set some more screens for her, okay? So yeah, obviously I wanted to say congratulations to KK and Sarah for the honor of being on the Defensive Player of the Year finalist list, and like I kind of say somewhere in this video, AZ should have been on the list as well and everything, but definitely wanted to give them their kudos on what they've been doing for us defensively and all that stuff. But I felt it was important to add that in because I forgot to say it whenever I was filming. Now going on to Aubrey Galvin. Okay, so she played 31 minutes, had 7 points, 3 of 8 shooting, 1 of 3 from the 3. She had no free throw, 3 rebound, 3 assists, 4 turnover. Okay, she had 3 steals and 1 block. So at least giving you some stuff defensively. Offensively, I would have liked to see more. Okay, and I think part of it obviously was how the defense was playing for South Carolina, but there was also some times where kind of wish she would have took it into her hands more, because you understand that the pressure Michaela Blakes is going to get is going to be a lot, So I will say those things, and then the turnovers, I don't love that, obviously. It's too many turnovers. Sasha Washington played 21 minutes, had 5 points, 2 of 5 shooting, no threes, 1 of 2 free throws, 5 rebound, no assists, 2 turnover, no steal, and no block. So, and you would like to see more for the time, okay? Number 15, 26 minutes played, 13 points, 5 of 7 shooting, 3 of 4 for the 3, and no free throws, 4 rebound, 3 assists, 2 turnover, no steal, and no block. So it's decent. And then Justine Passat, 21 minutes played, 8 points, 3 of 7 shooting, 2 of 6 from the 3, no free throw, 1 rebound, no assist, 2 turnover, no steal, and 1 block. The shot selection be frustrating me. The bench, there's not much to talk about. I mean, number 14, 5 points, Ava, 4 points, Makarat, 6 points, and then number 2, 3 points. So that's all Vanderbilt's production for this game, okay? And now we go on to some of the stats, okay? So scoring by quarter, first quarter, I'm reading Vanderbilt and then South Carolina. So 16 to 33. And then second quarter, 28 to 22. Third quarter, 12 to 27. And the fourth quarter, 18 to 21. Ultimately, South Carolina wins this game, 103 to 74. Okay? And so we look at our game leaders for points, rebounds, and assists. So Latson leading the way for South Carolina with 21 points. Okai leading with rebounds with 7. And Joyce Edwards had 6 assists to only 1 turnover. Vanderbilt, Michaela Blakes, 23 points, and she also led in rebounds with 7 and assists with 5, but she had 5 turnovers, so it basically evens out at this rate. And so now more advanced stats. So from the field, South Carolina shot 40 of 65, which was great, 62%. 10 of 17 from the 3, 59%. And then a 13 of 14 free throws, 93%. 32 total rebounds in this one. And so it's going to be 13 offensive rebounds and 19 defensive rebounds. You had 25 assists, 12 steal, 7 block. You had 14 total turnovers, which is still too many in my book, but, you know, they won. You had 32 points off turnovers, 21 fast breaker transition points. Okay, so getting out in transition and scoring off of that. You had 56 points in the paint, 14 fouls, no text, largely was 35, and percent led was 99%. Okay, and then we look at Vanderbilt. So they were 28 of 61 from the field, okay, 46%. 12 of 25 from the 3, okay. And I don't remember South Carolina giving up that many threes, but wow. And so 48%, 6 of 8 from the free throw line, 75%. They had 26 total rebounds, 14 offensive and 12 defensive, 19 assists, 7 steals. You had 3 blocks, 20 total turnovers, which is, I mean, good God. You had 15 points off turnovers, 7 fast breaker transition points, 24 points in the paint, 18 fouls, no text, largely was 0, and percent led was 0, okay? And so my overall takeaways on this one, South Carolina came out belt to ass this whole game, okay? From the tip-off, the jump ball, whatever you want to call it, okay? They really just did exactly what they needed to do, okay? I don't know if y'all heard that one TikTok sound. They said, got a light-skinned belt look like Michael Jackson, got a dark-skinned belt look like Michael Jackson. It was pure belt. It was pure belt. Like, they were so mad after that loss, and seeing Dawn's interviews and everything, you could tell that she was not pleased with how everything went with that. And she even said that Michaela Blakes was going to present to them a lot of similar problems as they got from City of Norman after she walked them down to half 15 in overtime. Okay, so you already knew. And so, yeah, they got off to a great start in this one and largely maintained the lead in the game. There was a point where Vanderbilt cut the lead down to 7. Okay, South Carolina said, no, Michael Jordan. Okay, and they got it together. And so they just made Vanderbilt play ugly. Okay, they had some defensive lapses in this game, but ultimately they were locked in on that. And I think that Vanderbilt has no offense outside of Michaela Blakes, which is what we already knew, okay? But yeah, South Carolina just did exactly what they needed to do. And the three ball was hidden when they hit 10 threes in this game. Like I said, whenever I saw McDaniel and McDowell hitting threes, I knew it was cash, okay? It was just straight belt. The fact that they gave up 12 threes isn't great, but yeah, they were just forcing Vanderbilt to have to take some difficult shots in this one that they didn't want to take, making them take some threes, making sure to get in the paint, having them take contested layups, getting themselves to the free throw line, capitalizing off of that. So I thought they did a lot of good stuff defensively in this one for sure, okay, and just made Vanderbilt look so bad, okay? And like I said, limiting Michaela Blakes, which is huge in this one, and then offensively, I really like the sets that they were running in this game and just the ways that they were getting open. You're getting out of transition, being able to score off of that. Just both sides of the ball. South Carolina, for the most part, put it together in this one. Like I said, some defensive lapses, but generally, you know, South Carolina did what they needed to do. And so, yeah, I feel like a lot of us knew it was only going to be a matter of time until Vanderbilt fell, because when you only have, like, one real threat on offense, it's going to be time. So I think that, you know, it's going to be really rough for Vanderbilt with the stretch that they have coming up. And also I told my friend, but I think Vanderbilt's like 3 pieces away from like really getting deep into the tournament. They need more, you know, because when you have stretches where you're able to take Michaela Blakes out of the game and everything, and even getting her in foul trouble in some of these games, then it's just everybody else is going to have to step up more, and they just don't have the personnel for that. So that's kind of my overall takeaways on this game. It was out South Carolina too, so a pretty electric environment, but it was entertaining. On to the next one, Texas versus Florida, okay? Going to start off with Madison Booker. So 33 minutes played, 24 points, 11 of 21 shooting, 0-2 from the 3, 2 of 3 free throws. She had 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 turnover, 3 steal, and 1 block, okay? And so overall, Madison Booker had a good one. I believe it was in the beginning of this game, if I'm remembering correctly, just her shots weren't going in as much, and then I think it was at some point where the shots started going in more, and that two-man game with her and Rory Harmon is super effective. Rory just knows exactly when to get her the basketball and everything, and so just being effective from that mid-range area, as she always is, you know, getting some layups for you. The threes, I would like to see her threes improve, okay, because the 3-ball for her, I would have to see her advanced numbers and see how many threes that she's taken and made and all that, but has not been her best, okay? So I think that that's some area that she needs to work on. She gave you some good stuff on defense. So, yeah, overall, this is a pretty solid game by Madison Booker. So, got to give her 10 for that. Y'all know I like her as a player for the most part. Everybody else, we go into Justice Carlton, 19 minutes played. She had 6 points, 3 of 3 shooting, and she had no threes, no free throw, 2 rebound, no assists, 2 turnover, 1 steal, and no block. So, not bad. You would like to see more for the time. We go into Bria Cunningham. 13 minutes played. She had 9 points, 4 shooting. She had no threes, 1 and 2 free throw, 4 rebound, no assists, 1 turnover, no steal, and 1 block. Okay, so did some good stuff for you. You know what you're gonna get offensively and defensively from Bria Cunningham. So one of her better games, I would say. Then Jordan Lee, 34 minutes played, 8 points, 13 shooting, 0-3 front of 3, and she had no free throws, no rebound. She had 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and no block. Okay. Jordan Lee has really struggled, okay? These last, 4 games shooting from the field, the shots have not been going in. Multiple times they set her up for 3-point opportunities. It's not going in. She had some opportunities where she was able to get a couple of shots to go through and a good defensive moment or two, but 4 of 13 is just not good, you know? And I get why Vic wanted Aaliyah Crum back, because, Lord, Jordan Lee is just bad. And then we're going to Roy Harmon. 33 minutes played, she had 8 points, 3 of 6 shooting, and no threes, 2 of 2 free throw, 4 rebound, 5 assists, okay, 1 turnover, 2 steal, and no block, okay. So always appreciate Rory defensively, offensively. She can score a little bit for you, and just the way that she's able to command the floor and run the sets and everything is really top notch. So you guys know I like Roy Harmon a lot, and people don't talk about her enough. Sid Berry, 5 minutes, 0 points, not much to talk about. Oldacre, 27 minutes played. She had 12 points, 5 of 7 shooting. She had no threes, 2 of 4 free throws, 6 rebound, 1 assist, and 1 turnover, 1 steal, and no block. Okay, so being effective. I think I stated this before, but she definitely reminds me of Jonquil Jones in terms of like the toughness that she can play with in the post. Being there to do some cleanup work for you and what she can give you defensively in the post is huge, and she's a big weapon for Texas. So I like Oldacre. Okay. We go into Aaliyah Crum, 17 minutes played. She had 14 points, 5 of 7 shooting, 3 of 4 front of 3, 1 of 2 free throw, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 2 turnover, no steal, and I believe that says 1 block in this game. Okay. I thought she was really good in this game, and I think that there's still some stuff she has to work through. You know, multiple times she was wide open for some threes, and she did make some in this game, but there's some other times she could have, and she kind of just hesitated on it. So I think, you know, just getting used to it. I think this is only like her second or third game back. So just kind of getting used to that and everything, and the flow of the game and everything, and definitely should take some more shots. But she had some really nice shots in this game, okay? I thought she was really positive for Texas, and like I said, Lord knows I need her because Jordan Lee has not been hitting those shots, okay? So I thought, you know, she was positive in this game for sure, and just hopefully continue to see that confidence grow for Aaliyah Crum for Texas, okay? Preston, 7 minutes, 1 point, not much to talk about. Graves, 1 minute, 0 points, not much to talk about. And Judd gave you 6 points. And she was 2 of 3 from the field. So usually she can give you some good stuff off the bench. Sometimes she takes some dumb shots, though. And then that's everyone for Texas. For Florida, I'll read the points, and if there's anything I have to say for any players, I'll say it. So, number 14, 3 points, Liv McGill. So, she's our star player, okay? So, she had 38 minutes played, 15 points, 6 of 16 shooting, 1 of 4 from the 3, 2 of 2 free throw. She had 7 rebound, 8 assists, 9 turnovers. I mean, good God, 2 steals and 1 block, okay? So the turnovers is going to stand out to me because, like, who's she feeling like? Caitlin Clark, 9 turnovers in a game. I cannot praise that. And so Liv McGill can score in a variety of ways, another volume shooter, okay? So that's what you know you're getting from her and everything. And she did hit some nice shots in this game, to be fair. But there's definitely some times where she's just chucking it up and everything. And to Texas' credit, you understand the stifling brand of defense that Texas is going to play, and they're going to force you to take some tough shots and to give up the basketball and all those other things. But there was definitely some times where she should have, like, kicked it out more, just been more purposeful about the shot selection and everything, the turnovers. I mean, good God. So, not her finest hour, okay? And then, number 12, 0 points. Mariah O'Neal, worth talking about for sure in this one. 32 minutes played. She had 17 points, 6 of 9 shooting, 2 of 4 from the 3, and 3 of 7 free throws. She had 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steal, and 3 blocks, okay? So, yeah, she did her big one in this one. She did her big one in this one for sure. But, yeah, she was an extremely positive contributor. I feel like she was the only one keeping them in the game in the first half and everything. Then she hit that buzzer beater to end the first quarter. She had some really nice shots for them. I believe she got in foul trouble in this game, if I'm remembering correctly, but she was huge for them, okay? And then Reynolds, 29 minutes played, 18 points, 5 of 9 shooting, 1 of 2 from the 3, 7 of 7 free throw, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 3 turnover, 2 steal, and no block. Okay, so doing some good stuff for you as well. The bench, reading the points, number 2, 8 points, Jay, 2 points, Alexia, 3 points, Gibbs, 0 points, Amelia, number 7, 2 points, and number 4, 0 points. So that's all the points and everyone for Florida. And then the box score. So first quarter 16-19, second quarter 26-12, third quarter 25-22, and fourth quarter 21-15. Okay. Ultimately, Texas wins this game 88-68. And so we look at the game leaders. So for points, Madison Booker 24. She also led in rebounds with 6, and Roy Harmon with 5 assists to only 1 turnover. For Florida, Reynolds leading the way with points with 18, Liv McGill with 7 rebounds, and Liv McGill with 8 assists and 9 turnovers. I mean, good God. It's just diminishing returns. Advanced stats for this one, okay? So from the field, Texas was 37 of 66, 56%, 3 of 10 from the 3, 30%. They had 11 of 17 free throws, which is going to be 65%. 32 total rebounds in this one. Would like to see more. 16 offensive and 16 defensive. 16 assists. You had 8 steal, 4 block, 13 total turnover. We'd like to get that down a little bit. 26 point off turnover. You had 6 fast break or transition points, 60 points in the paint. 20 fouls, no text, largely was 23, and percent led was 85, okay? And then we go on to Florida, okay? So they were 22 of 49 from the field, 45%, 6 of 16 from the three-point line, which is going to be 38%, 18 of 23 from the free throw line, 78%, 28 total rebounds, 11 offensive, and 17 defensive. You had 15 assists, 7 steal, 4 block, 21 total turnover. Okay, you had 13 points off turnovers. And so you had 3 fast break or transition points, 30 points in the paint, 19 fouls, no text. Largest lead is 4, and percent led was going to be 11%. Okay, my overall takeaways on this one, Texas got to get serious. I'm tired of Texas trolling and being in dogfights with teams that they shouldn't be in dogfights with. When we're looking at Ole Miss, and they almost lost that game because they choked away a huge lead. So that was very shameful. UCLA, something kind of similar. And we're also thinking about South Dakota State, moments like that. Okay, so why are we in a dogfight with Florida? They 1-7 now in conference play, I believe. So that was shameful to me, okay? Multiple defensive lapses, not being able to score, and just having to play with better pace, I felt, in this game. So I wasn't pleased by how they looked, in the beginning, and they got it together, but it just took too long, okay? Like I said, limiting the turnovers, I think is going to be key for them. Obviously, would like to see more rebounds. How many threes did they make in this game? They were 3 of 10 from 3. So, like I said, the 3-point shooting is going to be huge for Texas, okay? So that's something to key in on. Aaliyah Crump helps with that, but as a team, they could stay to shoot better from 3, okay? I appreciate that they don't rely on it, but eventually it is going to matter, especially when we get to that tournament, okay? And then, like I mentioned, Rory and Madison, 2-man game great. So, yeah, the point of this, I was not entirely pleased with it, and they should have won by more. But when you want to troll and you're not playing correctly and we are turning the ball over, I think they had 7 turnovers in one of the quarters. That's unacceptable to me. So, having to play better, having to play with more pace, more discipline, and, some of the other stuff that I said. So, that was my takeaways on that game. Next game I want to talk about is LSU went against Arkansas, okay? So, starting off with Flau'jae in this one, she played 25 minutes, 17 points, 6 of 15 shooting. She was 2 of 3 from the 3-point line, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. She had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steal, and 2 block. Okay. In the first half of this game, wasn't hot for Flau'jae, okay? I believe she was 0-4 from the field, okay? Kind of giving you some Vanderbilt flashbacks in that game when she had 0 points. And so it wasn't her best. In the second half, she finally started making something happen for herself, driving through the lane, getting some layups for you, and she hit some threes, which was important in this game as well, and she started playing with some more confidence. I want to see how she played in the second half. She does that every single game because she doesn't do that. And like I said, my gripe with her is that she's not consistent, okay? And yeah, so there's that. Wasn't efficient. She took some really bad shots in this game. What was it? That floater she tried to take, that was dumb. And just, there were some bad shots that she took, okay? But yeah, so I feel split. I thought we had some good stuff on defense for sure. There's also some times I saw her get beat, pick up some done fouls, okay? So I feel split on it. You guys know I'm a Flau'jae fan. I have my issues 100%, but for the most part, she was more good than bad in this game. Okay, so that's my takeaway on Flau'jae in this one. Then we get on to everyone else. Grace Knox, 19 minutes played. She had 12 points, 6 of 8 shooting, no threes, 0-3 from the free throw line, which how do you miss all the free throws? I mean, that's crazy. She had 5 rebounds, no assists, no turnover, no steal, and 1 block. So doing what she needed to do, just playing her game, getting some shots in the paint for you and playing that small forward role for LSU. So recently, she's really starting to find her stride for this team. We'll look at Amia Joyner, 15 minutes played. She had 4 points, 2 of 7 shooting, which is terrible. No threes, no free throw. She had 4 rebounds in this game and no assists, 1 turnover, no steal, and 1 block. So not her finest hour, okay? We go on to Jada Richard, okay? 31 minutes played. She had 12 points, 5 of 10 shooting, I believe, 1 of 4 from the 3, 1 of 2 free throws. She had 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 turnover, 2 steal, and no block. So it was a good one for her in this one, okay? I like the mid-ranges that she's taking and just finding other ways to score as well, and her facilitation for this LSU team has been key as the point guard, okay? So you understand that, and then defensively, she's just always coming up with some plays, always coming up with some steals, getting you some stuff in transition. She'll take a charge for you, so really crafty on defense too. So, she's kind of not talked about enough for LSU, I feel like, but She's a really good player for them, okay? And whenever they did play Florida, I want to say she was really big in that game. And let me see if I can find her stats really quickly. So she had 20 points in that game, okay? And defensively, she was huge on limiting Liv Miguel. I believe she took some charges, got some steals off her and everything. So, yeah, I think that she was huge in that game for them specifically, okay? So I did want to state that, okay? And so, quick thoughts. I forgot to say this earlier, but that Vanderbilt and Ole Miss game, terrible, okay? And just, I don't enjoy watching Ole Miss, okay? And Vanderbilt, yeah, it was not good. So that was not good hoops. So I did want to get that out of the way, okay? I feel like there's some more stuff on my mind, but I forgot. And going on to everyone else, ending this tangent. So we have Michaela Williams, 29 minutes played. She had 17 points, 8 of 15 shooting, 1 of 3 from the 3. She had no free throw. Okay, we had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 turnover, 1 steal, and no block. So Michaela Williams needed this game, for sure. And I think it was the beginning of the game. Wasn't her best. I think the second quarter, that's when she started hitting some shots. I think she got something off of an inbound and like some mid-range moments and stuff as well. And she had some threes, I believe, in this game for you. So able to do that. The defense, she was getting cooked. I mean, pretty much all LSU, for the most part, defensively was getting cooked. So something to improve on, but Michaela Williams was one of her better games. A bench, not so much to talk about. Megan had 0 points. Kate Colville, this was one of her better games. So she gave you 21 minutes played, 12 points, 5 of 9 shooting, no threes, 2 of 3 free throw, 15 rebound, no assists, 2 turnover, 3 steals, and 5 blocks, okay? How my critiques of Kate Colville and her post presence or lack thereof. But in this game, you can't deny the effort that she was putting in. Diving to the floor for loose balls, her rebounding effort, able to make some good shots for you and everything. So she was really flying around. I thought she was a really positive contribution for LSU in this specific game. Zakiya Johnson, 22 minutes played, 11 points, 4 of 8 shooting, 1 of 1 from the 3, 2 of 2 free throw, 4 rebound, 3 assists, 2 turnover, no steal, and 1 block. So did some good stuff for you. Divine, 0 points, not much to talk about. Bella, 2 points. And then we go on to Mylasia. It's not her best hour at all. And so 19 minutes played, but she had 5 points, 2 of 9 shooting, 1 of 3 from the 3, no free throw, 5 rebound, 5 assists, 4 turnovers. I can't praise that. She had 2 steals and no blocks. And I mentioned this in my TikTok review. But my entire thing with Mylasia is we have to get something that's not a contested layup at this point. Like, if you really look at her tape, she's just taking a lot of contested layups and just a lot of, like, flashy and pretty finishes for it that she does. And so many layups every single game that she misses. I think it was this game. She got the steal, and missed a layup in transition. And that was just backbreaking to me, okay? So I would like to see more mid-ranges. I would like to see more threes. I would like to see her finish in other ways that don't include a contested layup, because it gets to a point. When that's all you got in the bag, let's open it up. Okay? And then, so yeah, like, she's insanely talented. I think just the shot diet, we got to get better with that. Arkansas, I'll read the points. So Ashlyn, 6 points. Bonnie, 11 points. Emily, 6 points. And then Talia Jones had 23 points. Okay, so definitely doing a lot for Arkansas on this one. Number 11, 0 points. Maria, 11 points. Number 34, 12 points. Danica, 0 points. Number 3, 0 points. And number 15, 1 point. And then we look at some of the stats for this one. So scoring by quarter was tied to first quarter, 22-22. Shouldn't have been. Second quarter, 11-14. Third quarter, 17-33. And then fourth quarter, 20-23. Okay. Ultimately, LSU wins this one 92-70. And I forgot to say, but I was reading it Arkansas and then LSU for that. But LSU, the third quarter is when they broke through, which I'll talk about. Okay. Game leaders. So Michaela Williams leading the way in points with 17. Kate Coble in rebounds with 15, and Jada Richard with assists with 9 assists with 2 turnovers, okay? And for Arkansas, we had Jones with 23 points, and Deese, I believe, with 7 rebounds, and Robinson with 8 assists, okay? Going on to the advanced stats for this game. Okay, so LSU was 39 of 85 from the field, 46%, okay? 6 of 15 from the three-point line, that's going to be 40%. 8 of 14 from the free throw line, 57%. 56 rebounds, okay? They needed every one. 23 offensive and 33 defensive. You had 23 assists, 10 steal, 10 block, 15 turnover, too many. 21 points off turnovers, 15 fast breaker transition points. You had 50 points in the paint. And you had 17 fouls committed in this game. No techs. Largest lead was 22, and percent lead was 69%. We look at Arkansas, 26 of 69 from the field, 38%, 13 of 31 from the 3. And that's going to be 42%, 5 of 11 from the free throw line, which is going to be 45%. And then you had 34 total rebounds, 10 offensive, 24 defensive, 16 assists, 8 steal, 3 block, 19 total turnovers. You had 12 points off turnovers, 5 fast breaker transition points, 20 points in the paint, 20 fouls, no techs. Largest lead was 7, and percent led was 25%. Okay. Overall takeaways in this game: LSU got to play better than this. Okay. Was not pleased with this one. Okay. And it's for a variety of reasons. In the beginning of this game, the starting unit played played so bad that Kim Mulkey literally said, y'all can hit the bench for me, and put in her second unit. Who's she feeling like? Tennessee coach? So yeah, like it was bad for them in the beginning with the amount of threes and shots that they were giving up, and they just could not hit a bucket at all. Like, it was really bad for them. The second unit, they eventually started to get it together, did some good stuff, and then Kim put some of the starters back in, and then, you know, they finally found it eventually, but whenever they went into halftime, they were only leading by 3 points. I think it was like 36-33, okay? And so they didn't take over in this game until the third quarter, as mentioned, and they finally started looking like LSU and doing exactly what they needed to do. But you should not be in a dogfight with Arkansas. You should not be in a dogfight with Arkansas. Just times where they play too fast and having to be more patient with the sets that are being run and just stop shot chucking and, you know, having better moments with the basketball. There were some good moments they had with this one. There was one where I believe Jada Richard wanted to take the three, but she wasn't open for it. And so she like cut through, went all the way to the other side of the court, and then she hit a three, and it was like nice ball movement with that. And so there was that. I think they had too many turnovers. I believe they had 15 turnovers in this game. So to me, unacceptable. So I think having to be better with that. I think that this is some of the worst defense that they played all season, especially the perimeter defense when you give up that many threes. And then the threes that they gave up was going to be 13 threes. Okay, so when you give up 13 threes, that's 39 points. You give up 39 points. So having to be better multiple times, people were left wide open to hit the threes. Okay, so yeah, and just being a step behind, setting them to the free throw line, like their defense was really bad in this one. Some of the worst defense I've seen from them. Still needing more in the post, and yeah, just having to play more discipline, having to play better. And I hate this thing that they do, and some teams do, where they literally be driving through the lane and decide at the last moment that they want to pass the ball, and then you turn it over, okay? If you're going to do all that, then kick the ball out for the three. Kick the ball out for the three. You can tell that these teammates don't be expecting it and everything, and some people were trying to blame the teammate when you shouldn't have decided at the last second that you wanted to pass the ball, and you can tell that these people weren't clearly expecting it. So they got to play better than this. I just was not pleased. I was not pleased. They got it together, but it took too long as a point. I just don't like whenever I see these great teams being in dogfights with teams that they have no business being in dogfights with, which is the theme for pretty much every single one of the games, okay? I did want to share a couple of things that I noticed. So you see the pink stripes on LSU's uniform, okay? I don't like that they had the purple numbers. If you're going to do this whole pink theme, I think that they should have just went all pink like Arkansas did. They fully committed to it because their colors are red. And then you see some players wearing pink socks. So I believe this was like for breast cancer awareness or cancer awareness or something. So I thought that that was interesting in this game. Also, they did change the little scoreboard. So as you see, it's like both in pink. And then so I thought that this was a really nice touch because LSU's wearing white. So, you know, obviously, and then they have the pink on. So I don't know. I thought this was cool. Something you don't see all the time, but you know, it's for a good cause. Also, I will say I feel like LSU's court need a redesign, okay? Because I feel like the Tiger, like, I don't know, like maybe some gold and purple there. I don't like the white on the court. I think that's what irritated me. The SEC logo, some gold inside of there. It's just some really small tweaks and everything, but there's too much white on the court. Their colors are purple and gold, okay? I hate their new uniforms, as already stated and as I just showed, but just some little things about the game that I noticed. And so, yeah, LSU versus Florida, I don't feel like going over the whole thing of the game, but they were in a dogfight with Florida in the beginning, and so I didn't like that. They had too many turnovers in the first half, I felt, and the offense looked a mess. Second half, they finally locked in, and like I said, I don't know if I've said this before, but one of my problems with LSU in general is that you don't know who's going to be the leading scorer until the night goes on, and that's a problem for me. They don't have that one that's going to give you 15, 20 points every single time, you know? So I think that that's something there, but really being in a dogfight with Florida was actually insane. And they had like 9 turnovers or something in the second quarter. So yeah, I was not pleased by their performance in that game either, okay? Now I'm going on to my bonus game of the week, okay? I do this every single week on here, and so the one that I wanted to talk about this week was Maryland versus Washington double overtime game. I've been asked whenever I go live about my thoughts on Maryland, and I never have any because I haven't had the opportunity to watch them, so this week I was like, you know what? Let me tap in and see what it's giving. And this was a good one, okay? So for Maryland, I do not know how to pronounce her name, but number 9. So she had 39 minutes played, 7 points, 3 of 8 shooting, no threes, 1 and 2 free throws, 16 rebounds, okay? Who's she feeling like? Angel Reese? We love it, okay? She had 3 assists, 2 turnover, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. So I thought she did some really positive stuff in this game, okay? And so, yeah, like some offensive stuff and some defensive. I'd be forgetting plays in these because I watch so many games every week, but I enjoyed what she did for the most part, okay? You would like to see some more for the time, but I thought she did some good stuff. And then we have Addie Mack, number 3, 41 minutes played, 20 points, 7 of 19 shooting, 3 of 4 from the 3 free throws. She had 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and no block. In the beginning of the game, she was hitting some nice shots, and then I swear she went cold for a stretch, and then she had a couple at the end, but yeah, able to give you some stuff on both sides of the floor, but the efficiency leaves a lot to be desired, in my opinion, okay? So that, like, 7 of 19, who's she feeling like, Sabrina? Like, anyway, so now we go on to number 7, 40 minutes played, she had 6 points, 3 of 9 shooting, 0-1 from the 3, no free throw, 5 rebounds, no assists, 1 turnover, 2 steal, and no block. So Would like to see more for the time. 3 of 9 isn't great. And then at number 12, okay, Garzon. 48 minutes played, 24 points, 9 of 19 shooting. Knocking on the door 50%, but not quite there. 4-10 from the 3, 2-2 free throw. She had 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 turnover, no steal, and no block. So she did have some positive contributions in this game for sure. Okay, hitting some great shots for them, hitting some wide open threes for you as well. And so I thought she did some nice stuff in this game. And then we have Sailor Poffenbarger. So she played 45 minutes, 16 points, 6 of 19. Good God. 0-7 from the 3, 4 of 8 from the free throw line, 14 rebound, 4 assists. She had 2 turnover, 1 steal, 1 block. This really tracks after watching the game. She was missing a lot. Yeah, that's, I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't know. I don't love it with the efficiency. And then the bench, not much to talk about. 11, 0 points. Kendall, 7 points. And then Mir McLean had 0 points. So that's everybody from Maryland. We go into Washington. Okay, so Yalia, I believe, 55. 21 minutes played. She had 5 points, 2 of 8 from the field. No threes, 1 and 2 free throws. She had 8 rebounds, though. Okay, no assists, 1 turnover, no steal, and no block. So not great. And then we look at Avery Howell. So she played 46 minutes, 17 points, 5 of 10 from the field, and 3 of 6 from the 3, 4 free throws. She had 11 rebound total, so that's a double-double. She had 1 assist, no turnover, 5 steals, and no blocks. So getting it done on both sides of the floor. She did hit that 1-3 to open the game. So she gave you some nice stuff in this game for sure, and stuff in the stat sheet. I'll never forget what she said about Angel. I'll never forget that, and that's one thing I can promise. We go on to Savia Sellers. So really player of the game. 48 minutes played, and she had 38 points. 38 points is absolutely insane. She was on a heater, okay? So she was 15 of 32 from the field, knocking on the door 50%, I'll allow it. 5 of 15 from 3. She took 15 threes? Why would you take 15 threes? 3 of 5 from the free throw line. She had 4 rebounds total, 6 assists, 5 turnovers, 2 steals, and 2 blocks, okay? In the beginning of this game, I think she started 0 of 7 from the floor. She just couldn't hit anything. And then she started catching fire. Ooh, no Hunger Games. I believe this was like the 3rd quarter, I want to say, and she just couldn't miss. She just couldn't miss, okay? She was hitting some threes for you. She took it to the rim multiple times, was able to finish. There was that 1 Euro that she hit in this game. That was cool. That was cool. That 3 that she hit, I believe, in the overtime period, that was crazy as well. So they couldn't guard her. I don't know what they were doing on defense, but they could not stop her. She was not going to be denied scoring in a variety of ways for you. And I believe she's their point guard. I don't think she played a whole lot in the game against Michigan or something. Either it was foul trouble or she was out. I can't remember. But yeah, this one, she put on a show. She put on a show. So got to give her that. I hate the turnovers. Part of that was a defensive thing. But you have to take care of the basketball. 5 turnovers is unacceptable. But I thought she played extremely well in this one. And definitely played the game. Like, she kept hitting shots. And it's like, how is she doing it? Okay, that defense not existing on her. And then we look at 45 minutes played. She had 10 points, 3 of 12 shooting, and 2 of 5 from the 3, 2 of 4 free throws. She had 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnover, 1 steal, and 1 block. So 3 of 12 was, it's not great. And then we look at number 1, Hannah. So 38 minutes played, 7 points, 3 of 8 shooting. 0-4 from the 3, 1 of 1 free throw. She had 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and no block in this game. So, the bench, she really didn't get much. I mean, Bryn, 4 points, Sienna, 0 points, Devin, 2 points, and then Chloe had no points, okay? Scoring by quarter, this is interesting, okay? So, first quarter, I'm going to talk Washington and Maryland. So, it was 11 to 22, 12 to 13, 23 to 11, okay? And then the fourth quarter was 13 to 13, overtime 24 to 21, okay? So, you got a show in overtime. I forgot to say this, but Washington did win this game 83 to 80, so a pretty close one. I really got to start reading the scores of these games first for those who listen to this on like Spotify and Apple, so that's my bad, but I figured I would edit it in, and I implied that, but I forgot to say that. Now I have the leaders for points, rebounds, and assists. So for Maryland, Garzon leading the way with 24 points, and then at number 9 with 16 rebound, and Poffenbarger with 4 assists to 2 turnovers, okay? And then Washington, Sellers, 38 points, Howell, 11 rebound, and Sellers had 6 assists, okay? So Maryland, 30 of 79 from the field, 38%. I mean, they both shot bad. 7 of 22 from the 3, 32%, 13 of 19 free throws. How you miss 6 free throws? And that's one of the reasons why they lose, okay? They had 68% from the free throw line, 52 total rebounds. Damn! 18 offensive and 34 defensive rebounds. They had 13 assists, 5 steal, 5 block, 14 total turnovers, which is just too many. 7 points off turnovers, 5 fast breaker transition points, 36 points in the paint, 17 fouls, no techs, largely was 13, and percent led was 59%, okay? Sorry for any background noise, y'all, but continuing on, I'm trying to finish this. So Washington, 30 of 82 from the field, 37%, 10 of 32 from 3, And so that was going to be 31%. They had 13 of 18 from the free throw line, 72%, 50 total rebounds in this one, 20 offensive, 30 defensive. They had 12 assists, 9 steals, 3 blocks, 12 total turnovers. Okay, they had 13 points off turnovers, 11 fast breaker transition points, 40 points in the paint, 19 fouls, no text, largest lead was 4, and percent led was going to be 18. Okay. And so now going into my overall thoughts on this one, I did not write them down, okay? So this was a really entertaining game. In the beginning of this game, I just thought that Washington didn't look great. They didn't look great. They couldn't seem to hit anything, and I thought that Maryland was playing some really good defense on them, making them have to take some tough shots as well, and I thought that there was a lot of unforced errors, and they were taking some bad shots, so it was not great for them, and then Maryland seemed to be hitting everything in the first quarter, okay? So that was the first quarter. Second quarter, it was pretty even, 12-13, so part of that was defense, and then part of that was them not being able to shoot a penny into the ocean, so that wasn't great. Third quarter, 23-11. Okay, this is when Washington started locking in. They were hitting more shots. I believe this was when Savia Sellers got going. Okay, so that was really what helped them and everything. But it was still really close. It was still really close and everything. I think they took the lead for one moment and then they gave it back. It was like extremely close still. And so then we go on to the fourth quarter, 13-13 and everything. And there was a missed free throw at the end of the fourth quarter, I believe. Okay. So yeah, that was huge. That was huge. And so you make that free throw, then it's a different, conversation and everything. But Maryland don't make that free throw and everything. And then the overtime period was 24-21. Overtime, you saw some good stuff. And I will say that, Maryland had multiple opportunities that they could have put this game away, but just playing too sped up, not getting the ball to go through the hoop, sending them to the free throw line. I will never be a fan of fouling whenever you're down. I do not care. I do not care what the whole strategy is behind it and everything. Because whenever you foul, whenever you're down, the other team now gets free throws and everything. Oh, the game stopped. And then when the game resumes, you're still down. I'm never a fan of that. So then it just extends the game longer and everything because you're probably not going to win and everything. And, those missed free throws, I think that's part of the reason why they lose this game, okay? And they couldn't stop Sellers, which is another huge reason why they don't win this game. And so there's that. They did have more rebounds, which is good, but 2 more rebounds. They had more turnovers, 14 total turnovers. And it's the same. I just hate turnovers. I genuinely hate turnovers, and part of that was the defense. They had some nice steals off of it, I will admit, but you have to take better care of the ball when you have 14 turnovers. Only 5 points in transition, it's not going to help you, okay? So, yeah, they look good in this game. They look good in this game and everything, but, just the lows without scoring killed them and stuff, and just some of the mistakes that they made in this game, like I said already, with the defense and stuff that they did. And, Washington just wanted it more. Washington just wanted it more. And they were able to play a better team basketball, get their offense organized, make the shots and everything when it counted, making the free throws. So, yeah, it really was one of those kind of games. But I thought it was entertaining. This was my first time. So I would have to see more in Maryland to kind of get a feel for these players, like what kind of shots they like to take, are they good or whatever, because some players, any player can have a legacy game, right? But who are their consistent good players? How do they like to play the offense, the defense, the coaching philosophy? So I would have to watch more for honestly both teams, because this is only my second game I've seen from Washington this year, but definitely put on a show. Definitely put on a show. But yeah, those free throws really came back to bite, bro. And now I'm seeing Washington miss 5 free throws. Make the free throw. Make the free throw, okay? And then whenever you gave up 10 threes, what happened to perimeter defense these days? Everybody giving up threes. They both shot terrible from the field. Looking at more of these advanced stats again, you're noticing some stuff. You're noticing some stuff, okay? So yeah, they just came through whenever it matters. So yeah, and I do this every single week. I'm still thinking of segments to add and everything on these podcasts, and I have a couple ideas, but I don't want to say nothing till I'm ready for that. Okay. And so, yeah, I do want to show my page shirt. I decided to wear my Slam shirt for this podcast episode if you're watching on YouTube. But I just really like this shirt and everything. And so I haven't worn anything page related, and this is already going to be the 4th episode. So I was like, you know what? Let me see what I can do. And so, yeah, now I kind of wanted to talk about Unrivaled and stuff. I did want to talk about first about Paige's comments on everything that's going on in Minnesota and the whole ICE situation and kind of get my take on it because it's extremely important. If you follow me on social, I have discussed it, but I wanted to say it here, okay? And so she said, innocent lives are being taken, innocent families are being broken apart. People are afraid to send their children to school. People are afraid to go to work and provide for their family. People are afraid to go to the grocery store. What's going on is not okay. And at some point we feel like, and we hope, and we pray that there's change in direction where this is heading. God has given me this platform to speak out on things that are important to me and use my platform for good. And whether that be donations or just speaking out or standing up for what I think is right, I think that's very important. As athletes, it can be very easy for people to say, just play your sports, don't worry about politics, don't worry about all of life's issues. But I think as somebody who's in the entertainment business and we get this platform and we have this platform to say things, I think it's important for us to use our voice and stand up for what we believe in, okay? And it's not in this blurb, but there's another blurb that I saw, and she basically said that she wishes that she could have participated in the protest in Minnesota and everything. But what she has going on in Rivaled and all that, she wasn't able to, but she was like, I still want to contribute in any way that I can. And so, yeah, my overall takeaways on this situation and what Paige said, I really appreciate it, okay? I'm really far to the left politically, and, you know, my platform, I always want to have it be inclusive, and so I'm not going to tolerate, like, homophobia, transphobia, xenophobia. It's always free Palestine over here. Like, no racism will be tolerated and everything like that. Like, I really want to keep my platform to be about basketball, you know, when we're talking about these players and everything, and then just, you know, talk about social stuff whenever it is needed, you know, because I feel like that's extremely important for me to use my platform for those things and just say what I believe in. And I feel like, you know, if you really believe something and, you know, you don't say it in regards to, like, politics, I just feel like you're a coward. I feel like you're a coward and everything. And so Paige taking the opportunity to say, like, look, this is my platform, I'm gonna use it. I do appreciate her for speaking out on it. And, you know, she did donate the $50K that she won an Unrivaled to this as well. So I probably accidentally buried the lead on that, but that $50K, it did go to like kids in Minnesota and everything, and just doing what she can to help, even though she couldn't physically be there. So yeah, I think it's extremely important to speak on what's going on politically in this country and everything, and I just don't like the way that everything's going. And yeah, it's a very scary time, just people not caring about politics, and that's something that is going to directly affect you, okay? So yeah, I just appreciate Paige for standing up for this and just social issues in general. You look at her SB speech and just talking about how Black women don't get the coverage and everything that they deserve, and just using her platform to put a light on others. You know, that's something that she's always been really big on. So I wanted to make my statement known on that and just kind of tell you guys where I stand politically. Y'all probably already guessed, but I did want to say that because I feel like it's extremely important. Okay, now into the games. So there's two games I'm going to talk about. So they did face off against Laces and they faced off against Phantom. Okay, so for the Laces, they did lose this one 80-67. A lot of opinions on this one. Okay, so Paige's stat line in the Laces game, she played 21.3 minutes. She had 22 points, 7 of 16 shooting, 2 of 6 from the 3, 3 of 3 free throws, 6 rebound, and she had 4 assists, 1 steal, 2 block, and no turnovers. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, not her most efficient day from the field, but this is a rare occurrence for Paige, and she bounced back in the next game. So things I'm not worried about, and no turnovers, so I'm happy with that. And it's just the same things that I always appreciate with Paige. Just her ability to finish through contact and being a 3-level scorer. Her facilitation whenever she had 4 assists in this game. She would have had more, but they kept selling the assists. And what she's giving you on defense. And just the kind of player that she is. Like I always said in my Dallas reviews, okay, they could do a better job setting some screens, relieving some pressure off of her. And making some more shots and everything. Because if you actually watch these games, she's getting double and triple team. If y'all don't believe me, go watch the tape. So yeah, I'd be forgetting specific plays that Paige made in this game and everything. Like if I see the highlight, like it'll all come back to me. Ooh, no Celine Dion. But Paige, you know, always doing her thing, always playing her game. So just what a great player Paige is. We have Dom, 16.6 minutes played, 18 points, 8 of 13 shooting, 1 of 2 from the 3, 1 of 1 free throw. She had 12 rebound in this game, and so that's a double-double, okay? 2 assists, no steal. She had 2 blocks, though, and 3 turnover. Overall, you know, I thought Dom had some good stuff in this game and she played well. The turnovers, I don't love that, okay? And she be getting beat on defense. So those are the things that I don't like. Wasn't this the one where she was trying to take some dumb fadeaways and some shots she shouldn't have taken? So I didn't like those things. But for the most part, she does what she needs to do with the scoring, okay? I still have my qualms, but it was a good game for her for the most part, okay? And then Kate started in this one. Rakia was out. So 17.6 minutes played, 10 points, 4 of 12 shooting, 2 of 8 from the 3, and no free throw. She had 4 rebound, okay, 5 assists, 1 steal, no block, and 2 turnover. Kate Martin was just not effective in this game, straight up. When you're 4 of 12 from the field, just taking some bad shots. Multiple times where she could kick it out, and we're taking bad shots in this one, getting beat on defense. And I just was not pleased. I don't know why she played so long in this game, okay? And I don't know why Noelle decided to start her over again. It's really malpractice what Noelle is doing in regards to the coaching of this Breeze squad. So I just wasn't pleased by what Kate did in this game. Like, it just got to a point, okay? And now we're flicking it again. Cam Brink, so she played 13.1 minutes. She had 11 points. She was 4 of 10 shooting, 1 of 4 from the 3, 1 of 2 free throw. She had 6 rebound, and she had 1 assist, no steal. She did have 4 blocks though, okay, and 3 turnover. Don't love the turnover, but overall, you know, not her best shooting night. I thought she had some positive contributions and stuff. You understand what she's going to be able to give you on defense with 4 blocks. So It's kind of my takeaways on Cam in this specific game. But I don't know. I liked what she gave Morton Cameron. And then Kiana Williams, so she played 8 minutes, 6 points, 2 of 7 shooting, 2 of 6 from the 3, and she had no assists, no steals, no blocks, and 1 turnover. Okay, so she was just doing anything. I was irritated. Now we go into the laces. So Brittany Sykes, 23.9 minutes played. She had 29 points, 12 of 26 shooting, 3 of 8 from the 3, 1 of 2 free throw, 4 rebound, and she had 4 assists, no steal, 1 block, and 2 turnover. For the most part, did what she was supposed to do. Probably should have had some more fouls called on her. Is what it is at this rate. But for the most part, I think she's doing some good stuff in Unrivaled, okay? She's usually a free throw merchant, but she hasn't got to the free throw line much in Unrivaled, so I'll say that. AT, 12 minutes played, 17 points, 8 of 11 shooting, no threes, 1 of 1 free throw. She had 3 rebounds in this game. She had, I believe, 2 assists, no steal, no block, and no turnover, okay? I'll talk about AT a little later because I have something to say. Jackie Young, 8.8 minutes played, 5 points, 2 of 5 shooting, 1 of 2 from the 3. She had no free throw, 5 rebound total, and she had 3 assists, I believe, 2 steal, no block, and no turnover. So not her finest hour, you know. The bench, Jordan Canada, 13.7 minutes played. She had 10 points, 5 of 12 shooting. 0 of 2 from the 3, 0 of 1 from the free throw line. She had 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steal, no block, and 2 turnover. Okay, so Jordan Canada and the shot diet is not good. Stop taking contested layups, do something else, and then, yeah, she'd be irritating me in these games, okay? And then Nas Hillman, 18.1 minutes played. She had 15 points, 5 of 14 shooting, 3 of 9 from the 3, 1 of 3 free throw, 11 rebound. Okay, she had 1 assist, no steal, no block, and 1 turnover. Okay, so that's the stats. Looking at some more advanced stats for this one. So from the field, Breeze was 25 of 58 from the field, 43.1%, 8 3-pointers made, 38.8%, and from the free throw line, 5 of 6, 83.3%. They had 37 total rebounds in this game, 5 offensive, 32 defensive, okay? And so you had 12 assists, 2 steal, I believe 8 block, 9 turnover, don't love that, and they had 13 fouls, okay? And then for the Laces, 32 of 68 from the field, 47.1%. They had 7 3-pointers made, 33.3%. They had 3 of 7 from the free throw line, 42.9%, 37 total rebound, 8 offensive, and 29 defensive, 16 assists, 5 steal, 1 block, 5 turnovers, and they had 12 fouls committed, okay? And so there's that. And then I put some stuff in my notes I wanted to reference, but there was a sign from this game that said, Paige, we skipped school and flew from Michigan to see you. Okay, so period. Inspiring the youth. And I did really like the promo photo that they did for it. Okay, so I thought that was cool. And then I'll throw up some of the stats from Paige recent games that they put on this one, which I liked. And then at the time of this game, Paige and Chelsea Gray were tied at number 1 with 45 assists. Okay, so love what I'm seeing there. Okay. And so I will talk about that later because those are some other thoughts I want to share. But my overall takeaways in this game, I think that no Rakia was unfortunate, hurt us offensively in this game for sure. Noel's lineups are questionable yet again, not having Cam in the clutch, and Kate Martin played too many minutes, and her lineups are just so bad. The non-Paige minutes are really a dagger, okay? Paige having 4 fouls in this game was such BS. There was one in this game where they try to say that she tripped Knox Hillman, and she literally didn't, so that was dumb. There was one I believe Noelle had to use her challenge on because she got all ball, and then they try to say that that was a foul, so that was dumb. So, like, the foul, like, if you watch enough Paige games, you know she never gets in foul trouble, so it was just a bunch of BS with that, okay? And then also there was a time at the end of the game where she was trying to take a charge on AT. They didn't call it at all. Either that's a charge or that's a blocking foul, okay? It looked like a charge to me. It looked like her feet were set, but they didn't even call that, okay? And the physical way AT plays, don't love those things. I think there was a play in this game where AT, what is it called? Like, she literally hit Cam in the face, and somehow Cam made this insane shot in this game. But yeah, like, just, like, we literally got no calls. Like, in the first half of this game, we had no free throws at all. No free throws in the first half of the game at all is insane, okay? Every call was going Lace's way, calling all these ticky-tacky fouls, which was BS, okay? So I think that the officiating sucked, and, you know, whenever you let people play physical like that, that's how people get hurt. So I was not pleased by the officiating, okay? Like I said, regardless of the officiating, you do have to play through that and everything, but I wasn't pleased by that. And these are some specific moments that I forgot to mention in my review. I did say that the officiating was terrible, but I forgot to give specifics, because like, I be watching so many games every week, so sometimes you forget stuff, number 1, and number 2, doing these reviews, there's a lot of specific details to talk about with the players and the coaching and so on, so I be forgetting stuff, but I did mention that I wasn't pleased with that, okay? So yeah, the officiating just not consistent. I did not like that, okay? Yeah, like I said, the officiating is one problem with it. Outside of that, you know, I just didn't like how we played the game. I didn't like how we played the game. Taking some bad shots, the defense as a team isn't good, no well of it all, and just a lot of similar stuff that I said. But yeah, it wasn't a pretty game to watch. I did not enjoy myself. So that was my takeaways on that game, okay? Now we get on to Breeze versus Phantom, okay? This one was in Philly, okay? They lost this one too, okay? So Phantom takes the dub 71-68. Kelsey Plum hits the game-winning layup, okay? Advanced stats for this one. So Paige played 21.5 minutes. She had 23 points. Okay. 9 of 13 shooting. 0-1 from the 3. 3 free throw. 2 rebound. Okay. She had 6 assists, 2 steal, no block, and 4 turnover. Okay. The turnover, we know that's going to get cleaned up. Overall, I thought Paige played well. Okay. And so that Paige and Kelsey Plum matchup, that's always entertaining to watch. There was one, I think she got the block of her. She said, hell no. Even the mic picked it up, bro. It was insane. If y'all saw that on social, y'all know. But that was actually hilarious to me. So there was that. It just multiple times. Like there was one, she blew right past her and scored, and she had a lot of difficult shots in this game, like a lot of difficult middies and just shooting over like, you know, those arms and stuff. So yeah, like I said, they could do a better job setting some screens for her and stuff that I already say. I have some notes about that too. But yeah, I thought she played really well. Okay? And just doing stuff on both sides of the floor and just always appreciating her efficiency, kind of like I already talked about, and hitting difficult shots in this game time and time again with the assists, with 6 assists, with her defense too. Just really enjoy watching Paige play the game, okay? She was fired up. She was excited, to play in Philly and was talking about how this is so great for women's basketball. And I think over 20,000 people came to this game. So it was huge in that respect, okay? And so having to say those things, I will say one of the things in this game that I don't understand how people are saying, a lot of people were like, oh, basically Paige should have been more aggressive offensively this game because she doesn't take bad shots, which is true that she doesn't take bad shots, and basically saying that it's Paige's fault that they didn't win the game, which I think is untrue because like I said, you look at the shots that Paige took in this game and the ones that she made and everything, they were very difficult shots. Paige only got 1 or 2 gimmies because they're double and triple teaming her because they're not setting enough screens for her number one, so that's part of it, and 2, like they're not threats enough, so that's why they know Paige is their main offense, so they're gonna go at Paige every time, okay? And you saw similar stuff with this in the W season too. So it's just irritating because Paige didn't have a whole lot of clean looks that she was getting off and everything. I don't really think she was just passing up a bunch of clean looks is my point. So I don't know. Like this is always a critique of Paige, the whole passive Paige this and all this other nonsense and everything. In some games I can get where people are coming from. There was some games where of course I would have liked Paige to be more aggressive offensively, like of course, but I just don't think that this was one of the games that you can say that about and everything. Paige was doing everything that she could. In this game, and for this to be repackaged as, oh, Paige didn't do enough instead of everybody else. Paige had 23 points. Offensively, defensively, the gravity that she's going to give you, and you also have to take account the points that she's responsible for whenever she had 6 assists in this game. So I just didn't understand that. It's like, are we not watching the same game? Like, why are we repackaging this and putting it on Paige instead of our teammates? Okay? Like, it gets to a point. And, like, Paige is always going to involve her teammates. That's number one. And the way that Paige plays is going to make dividends when she actually gets teammates, who are going to, like, be better and be able to help her out more and not sell the assist and not be defensive liabilities and, like, all these other things. So, it's a whole tangent, but I don't know. I just don't understand we see the same games and the takes that people get off because I don't know how you watched this game and this was your conclusion, okay? But Paige, tremendous as always. You know what you're going to get from Paige. This demon, that was so much fun to watch, okay? That matchup with her and Kelsey Plum. Now we continue on, okay? Dominique Malunga, so she played 13.9 minutes. She had 10 points, 5 of 9 shooting, 0-1 from the 3, 0-1 free throw. How you missed a free throw? She had 12 rebound, okay? We got a double-double, okay? She had 1 assist, no steal, no block, and 2 turnover. Similar stuff that I said about Dom before, hitting some good shots for you, okay? Still, the defense is a question. She did get a couple stops on defense, which I did appreciate, but the defense, basically defensive liability at this point. The defense has to be worked on, okay? And so, yeah, you understand what you're going to get from her. But for the most part, I thought she was good in this game, okay? And then Kmart was starting again, even though Rakia's back. So, yeah, I didn't get that. 9.7 minutes played. She had 2 points, 1 of 6 shooting, and 0-3 from the 3. No free throw. She had 2 rebound, no assists. She had no steal, no block, and 2 turnover in this game. Again, not pleased by Kate's performance, okay? Kate's stock is going down. I felt like in the beginning of Unrivaled with this team, she was doing some good stuff when she was just playing a role, taking a shot every now and then, whenever she needs to, if she has an opportunity, if she sees an open shot, and then also getting some rebounds for you, playing some defense for you, and just not trying to do too much and playing within herself. When we get Kate elevated to the starting position and we see her in an extended amount of time, it's not helping. Okay? And so, yeah, I just saw her taking some really dumb shots in this game and some mistakes defensively as well, not getting enough rebounds rebounds. I just was not pleased at all. I don't know why she played so many minutes. I don't know what Noelle is doing, but this was just not the move to do in this game. Okay, so the stock going down, okay? And like, I just don't understand the PR that she gets. I don't understand the PR she gets for the actual player that she is. Because when you actually watch these games, it don't be good. I still remember that Valkyrie's game, whenever she was 5 of 16 from the field, I believe, and they gave her 2 threes in the clutch, and she missed them both. Kate Martin is never first option hoops. And whenever she was out there with Dom and Cam, it was just 2v3, and they was just their 2-man game the whole time, and they weren't even doing nothing to Kate. Like, they weren't even guarding Kate or anything like that, or even when Kate was getting involved, she was missing shots. Now continuing on, so we go to Cam, 14.8 minutes played. She had 13 points, 6 of 12 shooting, and 0-2 from the 3, 1 of 2 free throw, 9 rebound, and 1 assist, no steal, 2 block, and she had 2 turnover. Overall, I thought that Cam has been extremely positive in this game and recently, and I feel like she should be in a starting lineup at this point, okay? And every time I say that, people, oh, Cam foul trouble this. Cam has not been in foul trouble the last 2 or 3 games, at the very least. So yeah, I think that she's giving us some of our best stuff defensively, okay? And I don't understand why Noelle is not playing her more minutes. I don't understand why she's not starting number 1, and then, like I said, the minutes thing too. Because it was literally like, we had good lineups with her. That CPR lineup was really effective, and she was doing some really good stuff, I believe, in the 4th quarter, and then Noelle took her out for some reason, and then Aaliyah Boston hits that 3, and she wouldn't even have the opportunity to get off such a clean look, I believe, if Cam Brink was in, because she was the only one that could defend her, because she plays good defense and because of the height, okay? So I think what she's giving you on defense is 1, but people act like Cam Brink is a bum. People act like she can't score, and she can score. She can score. She's doing some good stuff for us. She's putting it together, okay, finding opportunities to score. I believe she took this 1 mid-range in this game, and I said, yeah, Cam, I love it, because she was wide open for that, and sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you. They weren't guarding her from that, so she said, you know what, let me take this midi right here. Being able to finish and, you know, get some layups for you, that 2-man game, like I mentioned with her and Rakia, is something that has been effective for you as well. And, you know, doing some good stuff with Paige. She's the only one who consistently sets screens for Paige, okay? And I extremely appreciate that, okay? And there was that one when Paige set that screen for, I think that was like a pick and roll moment that I appreciated as well. But Cam's doing a lot of positive stuff. I'm tired of people acting like Cam is a bum, okay? How is Cam a bum? And for some of y'all, Kate Martin just gets to slide by. Like, we haven't seen what Kate Martin did the last 2 games. It's malpractice, okay? And so, yeah, I was on live. Someone was like, oh, Money Martin's like irritating me or something like that. And I know that's her nickname, but Money Martin, my ass. Brig after brig after brig. Who's she feeling like? Arike? Like, oh my God, I'm just so irritated. So like I said, for some of y'all, Kate just gets to go on by. We're not going to talk about it, but we acting like Cam can't score now. When Cam has been putting it together, y'all. Cam has been putting it together, y'all. So give Cam her respect, okay? Give Cam her respect, because she's been doing a lot of positive stuff for us in these games. Yeah, I'm just irritated by Noelle's utilization. Now we're going to Rakia. 20.4 minutes played. She had 20 points, 6 of 16 shooting, and a 2 of 5 from the 3, 3 of 3 free throw, and she had 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and no turnover. Rakia has to stop making it harder than it needs to be with her shot selection. Multiple times, she just chucks stuff up and everything, okay? And part of that is how the defense is playing her, I'm sure, but she has to be more patient with stuff and let things develop. Like that one shot she had in this game when I think Aaliyah Boston was trying to stop her, and then she kind of maneuvered around, and then she hit a shot. I'm like, there you go. Like, it's more methodical instead of just chucking it up and hope for the best. So her shot diet really is irritating me. And I get she can make some tough and ones, but every shot doesn't need to be like that. Let's take a mid-range. I know that the coach eliminated it, but she's not here right now. Let's take a mid-range. Let's take a 3. Let's just be effective with the shots that we're taking. So that's what really irritated me, because she was 6 of 16 in this game, okay? And then the defense is just bad. It's just bad, getting beat on defense multiple times. So I have a problem with that. And then at the end, y'all already know what I'm going to say, okay? That shot clock violation, I was so irritated. Noelle literally took a timeout, I assume, to draw a play for Paige. She was explaining to them. They go in the game, and then Rakia has the ball, holding on to it too long. And I'm assuming that she was just trying to wait for Paige to get open, because we know how the defense is going to play her, as I already discussed. And so, like, it just didn't work out, and she held on to the ball too long. Shot clock violation. I'd rather her shoot the ball. I'd rather her shoot the ball in that moment, because then you lose possession of the basketball, okay? And then it was just, and then that defense at the end, it was like Lord send the flood. I was just really irritated. So she did some positive stuff, but plays like that, I was just irritated. Like, I was hot. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Then we go on to Phantom, okay? Aaliyah Boston, 20.2 minutes played. She had 18 points, 7 of 15 shooting, 2 of 5 from the 3, 2 of 2 free throws. She had 8 rebound, okay? 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 block, and 1 turnover, okay? She did some good stuff in this game for you. Probably should have been called more for some fouls in this one, as always, but her ability to finish out the rim, okay, get off some good shots for you, and playing some good defense as well, okay? So, yeah, just doing what she needed to do, and I forgot to say this in my review too, but having Dom in hell defensively, okay? And just also making sure Dom's basically not going to get any easy shots off of her. She might have got 1 or 2, but yeah, just doing it on both sides of the floor. Y'all know I have my problems with her and the elbows that come back to bite. I'm gesturing, but she did what she needed to do in this specific game, okay? Tip Hayes, 15.3 minutes played. She had 15 points, 6 of 13 shooting, 1 of 5 from the 3, 1 of 1 free throw, 6 rebound, okay? She had 2 assists, and she had 2 steals, I believe, no block, and 1 turnover. There's some good stuff in this game. Stop with the flopping. Stop with the flopping, okay? And then Kelsey Plum rounding up the starters, 20.6 minutes played. She had 22 points, 7 of 15 shooting, 2 of 6 from the 3, okay, 3 of 3 free throw, 4 rebound, and she had 4 assists, no steal, 1 block, and 3 turnover, okay? First half of this game, Kelsey Plum was thinking it up. It was bad. I said lock in. She got to lock in. And did that second half, okay? And yeah, Kelsey Plum likes to drive a lot, so she was going to do that and just find some ways to score with that, okay? Hitting some threes for you as well. Kelsey Plum defense, y'all know her defense not good at this rate, okay? And she got cooked multiple times, a la Paige. But did what was necessary to win. And Kelsey Plum, when she's on, it was fun to watch, okay? I wanted to see them go bucket for bucket. And in a sense, we kind of didn't get it. But like I said, this is one of the most entertaining matchups that we're going to see in the league for years to come. And I wish that Kathy would promote this instead of trying to force down our throats Angel and Caitlyn, which makes no sense because they play 2 completely different positions and all the other stuff. Even when she be trying to force Paige and Caitlyn, it never gives what needed to be gave, you know? Like, start pushing them with organic stuff like this rivalry, organic, and then the one that Angel and Fee have, because it's all love off the court. But on the court, we're going to play. We're going to keep everything above board. But Paige and Kelsey Plum, elite hoops every time. Okay, she said, hell no. Okay, like, it was fun. So Kelsey Plum, you gave me entertainment in that second half. She locked in. So I got to give her that. Y'all know I like Kelsey Plum. Natasha Cloud, 14.4 minutes played. She got 2 points, 0-5 from the field, no threes, 1 of 1 free throw. I believe she had 2 rebound in this one. And then she had 4 assists, 1 steal, no block, and 1 turnover. Finding ways to be effective, but 0-5 from the field is just tough. And then we look at Kiki Iriafin. So 9.6 minutes played. She had 14 points, 6 of 11 shooting. No threes in this game, 1 of 2 free throws. She had 8 rebound, 1 assist, no steal, no block, and a 2 turnover. Overall, I thought Kiki was effective in this game, taking her shots when she needed to. She had some really nice stuff. I think she's really finding a groove when Unrivaled, and I'm happy because it was a really rough start for her. So you got to give some appreciation to Kiki, okay? So there was that. Okay, now we're going to the advanced stats. So from the field, the Breeze was 27 of 56. Okay, so that's going to be 48.2%. And so they had 2 3-pointers made in this game, 16.7%. I believe someone told me they took 12. So, I mean, that's just terrible. 7 of 9 from the free throw line, 77.8%. They had 33 total rebounds in this one, 5 offensive, 28 defensive, okay? And they had 11 assists, 3 steal, 3 block, 11 turnover, and they had 16 foul. Okay, so not pleased by that. You look at Phantom, 26 of 59 from the field, 44.1%, 5 3-pointers made, 31.3%, and 8 of 9 from the free throw line, 88.9%. They had 32 total rebounds, 6 offensive, 26 defensive, 14 assists, 4 steal, 3 block, and 8 turnover, and 14 foul. Okay. Sometimes I might mess up the stats in these or whatever, and if I do mess up anything, I'll have additional notes on the screen if y'all are watching this, and then my stats are always on, so y'all can see it as well, because sometimes I mess up the stats, but I have a lot of stats to read in these. And so, yeah. Let me give my overall thoughts on this game for y'all, okay? So, like I said, the whole thing about Paige taking more shots and all that other stuff, I already kind of went over that, so I don't need to get into that again. And the second thing is Noelle can't coach. She always had to mess up a good thing. We had multiple good lineups. We had CPR lineup, which was doing really good in this game and stuff, and then she took Paige out, and then she put Kate in. I just knew whenever Kate was at the scorer's table, it was just bad. Because that's when we were finally starting to gain momentum, and of course she messes it up. And then that moment that I talked about in the fourth quarter with her taking Cam out, okay? And so just malpractice. Every time we have a good thing going, we're gaining momentum, we're doing good stuff, she always goes away from it. And her use of timeouts and challenges and all that stuff is awful, So Noelle just continuously frustrates me. She cannot coach. When it comes down to X's and O's, when it comes down to executing in the clutch, when it comes down to rotations and being strong about that and seeing who plays well together and having that consistently, she doesn't do that. Every week, she messes up in a new way. And she takes too long to learn from her mistakes. I can see 5 minutes the same mistake being made where she needs to change something, and she won't. She takes too long, okay? And if you learn from her mistakes in one game, she doesn't transfer that to the next game. There's been games where, you know, players have played too long, like a game where Rakia played in too long where she wasn't playing great. This one, Kate played in too long, and she just takes forever. Like, her adjustments are basically non-existent, okay? And so Noelle continuously frustrates me. She can't coach. I don't know why anyone thinks she can coach. It's the same thing pretty much every single game. She always finds a way to mess up what we got good going on, and I hate it. This was a very winnable game. Rakia, like I said, bad shots that she was taking, bad defense, wasn't pleased by that. Dawn, bad defense, but decent otherwise. For the most part, Kate wasn't moved. And like I said, the same problems that I'm keep seeing. The team defense be in the gutter. And, you know, in the beginning of this game, I thought we didn't play well. I thought that we didn't look good. We were taking bad shots and stuff. It just took some time for us to get settled in the game. And when we did get settled, she ruined it and everything. And just bad shots that were being taken and bad defense. I think that we got outplayed. I think that Phantom ran our offensive sets a lot better. Multiple defensive lapses by us, because how many threes did we give up in this game? We gave up 5 threes. So I don't love that number. Still would like to see better defense, better rebounding, as I kind of already stated, and all that other stuff. But yeah, offensively and defensively, they outplayed us. Okay, and we had our opportunities to win it. It was a very winnable game, but we could not execute when it mattered. And that shot clock violation, I'm irritated. But yeah, the next game against the Rose, they just lost, so they're going to be pissed. I hope that we win that one. If we don't, it's probably going to be the same issues that I always talk about, okay, with they're not helping Paige with the screens and all the other stuff. So yeah, but shout out to everyone who went to this game, record attendance and everything, so huge. Also love the promo for it, which I will have on the screen as I'm talking about the game as well, so I'm sure about that. And so there is that. So, yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. I'll be trying to watch some of the games outside of Paige sometimes. I don't think I'm going to catch any today. I have to edit this episode and everything. Gonna try to get it out before Tennessee and all that other stuff. But now I kind of wanted to get to the point where I talk about why I named this episode what I did, okay? Because I named it Crashout Jar. So to those who do not know, and you guys probably do because y'all be watching the games and stuff, but Marina has this like really big Crashout Jar, and every time she crashes out, she like has to put money onto it. And she does it every single game. And so she said that she's going to be donating the funds to go to Minnesota to help resist ICE raids and everything. And she was saying shout out to Paige for speaking up on it. But I'm glad she's putting it towards a good cause. So I definitely wanted to give her 10s for that, okay? And so there was that. Also, she had a great game. I didn't see the full game. I saw part of it. But she had 47 points, 10 to 15 from 3, which is a record, and 18 to 28 from the field. And she had 21 minutes played, okay? And she had a new unrivaled record for threes made and points made. Like, she broke, like, all the unrivaled records, okay? And I'm glad that they did it wearing the black jerseys, okay? Because I think that the other ones are ugly, quite frankly. So yeah, I just wanted to say shout out to Marina for that. So that's partially one, and two, it's been a Crashout week, bro. Like I kind of talked about with everything going on in Minnesota and everything, the TikTok algorithm is being very weird, okay? So like they're not pushing me or like a lot of creators as much as like we used to. So like they're still figuring out the algorithm, I guess, and they're silencing people, which is not right, obviously, for speaking out about what's going on and everything. And so TikTok was down and all that stuff. And so yeah, and then they said that I was impersonating someone, which I kind of talked about. And so like what is it called? I appealed that I won, but they're still not really putting me on the For You page as much and everything. And so, yeah, it's just not, my videos aren't doing the same as like they're normally doing. I don't know how long it's going to take for everything to be right with that, for things to come to fruition with that. So it's just like, I just said Crashout Jar for real because just being frustrated, I guess, with some of the things I'm seeing in these basketball games, like the same problems that I always talk about in these, number one, and two, just with everything that's going on with TikTok and all the other stuff. And yeah, all I can do is make stuff, and I have a lot of joy in making these podcasts and making my videos, and as a form of expression, I really love to do this. And so like you can't control how your stuff does, but for TikTok to like not even push anything out, it's kind of been something I've been dealing with, and just like my creator friends, like we all kind of going through it right now. So yeah, I think it's starting to get better and everything, but I don't know. That's why I called it that. That's why I called it that. And that's relatable, and that's relatable, bro. With that. And then also, bro, Paige's crash outs from that Laces game, like I'll throw that one photo on, and I'll also throw that one photo of the floater. I think it was from that game too, which I like. But Paige's crash outs were so valid with her having all those fouls too. So when I really thought about it, and I've been having a really fun time thinking about like what I'm going to title this episode, I thought Crashout Jar was really appropriate with, the social stuff this past week and all that other stuff. The good news for me is that at least I have my YouTube channel I post videos on. I'm trying to get my Instagram off the ground, so to speak. No Paul McCartney. And so at least I can go live. Like I said, I'm planning to go live for the Tennessee game and to chop it up with you guys and give my opinions. I hate that the Tennessee game's at 11. I don't know. It should have been like 2 or 3, or even like the night. I think that would have kind of aided and everything. But yeah, because I just put a lot of time into these things every week. So frustrated with that. Like I already said 1,000 times, but I can't amplify that. But I be getting the crash outs. I be getting the crash outs and everything. And it's kind of unfortunate because I really wanted to talk about Tennessee, and like there's going to be another Breeze game that I wanted to talk about. Paige and AZ are going to play on the same day. So I'm really excited about that. So it's unfortunate at when it is happening, I guess, and everything, because I would have loved to include that in this, for another matchup to talk about. But I always have to have these out on Sunday. So how to get this done, and then the next episode I will talk about those things. But yeah. And before I do go, I did want to say that my song of the week, which I will be doing now, War of Hearts by Sade, Sade. Go listen to that song, War of Hearts. I'll try to link it down below in the description and everything as well, okay? So yeah, I kind of think that that's all my thoughts that I wanted to share. Thank you guys so much for watching this on YouTube or listening wherever you are. It's just been really fun just doing this, and to see the support that you guys have given it in this endeavor means a lot to me, and I'm really enjoying it and trying to find new ways to keep it interesting for you guys, and just putting it all together. And the editing is like little hell, but seeing how it comes out at the end and like the reception that it's getting, I really do appreciate that. So if you guys are enjoying this, be sure to give it a like on YouTube. I appreciate it. It lets me know that y'all like what I'm doing. Also, you can hype this down below. It'll give you that feature. It helps me in some fashion. I don't know how, but it does help. And you can leave a comment letting me know what you guys thought of these games, in my opinions, and, players you're liking, games you guys want me to review, just any basketball thoughts. I would definitely like to hear that from you guys. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, please rate the podcast, give me a review, let me know how I'm doing and all that other stuff, because I would very much appreciate that, okay? You can subscribe to this channel for this podcast every single week, and then I'm also going to be doing my reviews, and I'll post my lives on here and all that other stuff, so you can check that out. All my socials will be linked down below in the description, wherever you guys are watching or listening to this, so you guys can check that out too, and everything. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I did want to say in this, and I'm losing my train of thought. So I think that's probably going to be it. Thank you guys so much yet again for being here, for supporting me in whatever fashion that is. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode of Anastasia Scouting Report.